Okay, I think we're going live. I'm pulling up the cell phone for the Facebook. Hi guys, this is Dawn Stock with stampingwithdawn.com. Hopefully I'm going live in the right spot. Had to update something yesterday and it moved a few things around. So hopefully we're going live in the right spot. So let me make sure I'm in the right place. And it's going live. Now, guys, today is Tuesday. Let's see, it's September 6th. So this is the first Tuesday we're doing it on a Tuesday. Next week, on the 13th, it will be at 7 a.m. I'm trying out a few different times. So, guys, do let me know whether you like the time or if you're like, Dawn, I watched it on replay. That really helps me out a lot to let me know when you guys are tuning in. Let me make sure I got sound. There we go. Okay. Oh, good. My friend Norma's on. Hi, Miss Norma. How are you? Hey, and guys, thank you, Miss Norma, for me seeing that you're on here. Yesterday, I did that video yesterday and had an absolute blast. There was so much information in that yesterday, right? Which is a good thing. And before I forget, don't forget, grab your coffee, have it ready. Now, today should only be about 20-30 minutes, okay? That's my goal, is on Tuesdays and Thursdays to only meet with you guys about 15-20 minutes. You can have it going on in the background while, you're doing your hair or your makeup and you're getting ready for work. If you want to listen to it in the car, that's fine. But if it's on Facebook Live, guys, which this is, do not watch it while you're going to work, while you're driving. Please, 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 please. Okay, so you guys saw yesterday, I gave you that little bit of a hint that I was going to do a special card based on the card that I did 6 years ago. 6 years ago. I had done a Buckeye class 6 years ago, and we actually did it OSU Michigan weekend. It was a lot of fun. It was a huge amount of fun. All scarlet and gray, although I did tell my friend Susan, who's part of my team, Susan she roots for that other team. I don't know why, but she does. So anyway, I had told her if she wanted to come to the class, for her and her alone, I would do it in yellow and blue. Nobody else, just because I love Susan that much. So, I don't know what this is officially called. I've always heard it called a twist and pop. And all I can ever think of is, does anybody remember the song? Hubs and the boy watched, was it Back to School the other day? And all I could think of was the song that Rodney Dangerfield is, twist and, well, we'll do twist and pop. Do, do, do. Come on, come on, come on, come on, crafters, right? So that's what we're going to do today, is a twist and pop card. Now, guys, there is no tutorial on this, okay? This would take me forever to type this one up. But you can go back and watch the video, all to your heart's content, and I will also be placing it out there on YouTube. I'm going to move my coffee so that I can have some of it here. I really don't know how people get by without coffee in the morning. So anyway, you can go back and watch this to your heart's content, and it will also be on YouTube. Guys, when I did this card originally, it was November of 2016. I know, 6 years. I know I certainly haven't gotten any older, and my crown isn't changing colors or anything up here, but I over the weekend, because the team that I belong to, my upline, her team, she rooted for the other team, not Ohio State, but she rooted for the other team. And she did a thing on her group that, who are you rooting for? And I had to go through and find that card that I had done with this twist and pop, because I did it all in Ohio State colors. It was and it was a Christmas card too. That was the kicker of it. So I got to thinking, you know what, I should probably just do this as a Facebook Live. So that's what we're going to do today. Now, you do want to have a pen nearby there, so if you need to write down any of the dimensions, you're welcome to do that. And again, please, guys, it does help me out tremendously when you share my videos, especially if you've got crafting friends that would love to make this card as well. Several of the items I have stamped or die cut ahead of time, just to make it easy. So I'm going to flip this over. Before I forget too, right here, and there it is. The host code is listed right there. And if you look above there in the description, the link is right there. All you got to do is click that link and you can go ahead and place the order. Now, I am using a few of the items. Oh, I forgot to grab butterflies. I got to grab those too. I am using a few of the weekly deals. So guys, those end tomorrow night on the 7th at, I think it's 11:50 p.m. Mountain Time. So you do want to make sure you place the order. Since you're watching this now, go ahead and place the order now while you're watching this, or as soon as it's done, so that way then you don't miss out on it. They are limited supplies, so once the item has sold out at that reduced rate, they're gone. I think most of the items are in the big catalog that I am using today, so we should be good on that. So you ready? On the count of 3, 1, 2, and let me see if I can do this right. 3, woohoo! There we go. Okay. Like I said, I had to update yesterday on something, so things got moved around and just look very, very, very different. All right. So you can see some of the stuff I've got here. I'm choosing to color with markers, so you choose your colors of markers that you want. I chose a lot of the ones from the soft subtles. So for me, I chose to color with Blushing Bride, Soft Seafoam, Pool Party. Those are all from the subtles. And then from the in colors, I chose Fresh Freesia, which was last year's and this year's in colors, and then Orchid Oasis, which is this year and next year's in colors. So those are the 5 colors that I chose to use. I also chose to use the Shaded Summer Stamp Set because, ready? And again, guys, I keep mine on a magnetic sheet. The magnetic sheet is not what comes with it, but that's how I store mine. These dies are marked down. These are the, the Shaded Summer dies. Oh, let me find the exact name so I can tell you exactly what they're called, because I talked about them yesterday. They are the Summer Shadows dies. They are marked down to $27.20. And guys, also, my phone is evidently at a different version than the laptop is. So if you leave a comment and I don't respond, please don't be upset. I promise you I'll come back to it. We're also going to play with the Splendid Day 12x12 Specialty Designer Series paper, which is also marked down. And I did not grab them, but I'm going to grab them, the brushed brass butterflies and the brushed metallic adhesive backed dots. I tried to use the pale papaya. I just could not make that one work, and I'll show you why. So talk amongst yourself for a brief moment while I grab the butterflies and the dots. Okay. So I have my butterflies right here. So we're going to play with the brushed brass butterflies. You can see that is a partial package. So when I have partial packages, I go ahead and I put them back in together. And the same with the brushed metallic adhesive backed dots. So again, these items are what is in the weekly deals that ends tomorrow night. The paper, the Designer Series paper, Splendid Day, the brushed brass butterflies. We're playing with the Summer Shadows dies and the brushed metallic adhesive backed dots. Now you could play with any of the other ones too. Those are just happen to be the ones that I chose to play with today. There, let me move that out the way. Okay, so we've got this. Let me move that aside. Now I'm going to give you dimensions here in the video, so do make sure that you go back and watch it. You're also going to want to have your tear and tape or your Seal Plus. Either one will work on that, okay? And I'm also going to use the regular Stampin' Seal. Now, if you chose to use the Seal Plus, which is the darker blue one, the 2 of those would combine and you could get by without having 2 separate. Totally up to you. Or if you prefer to use just the green glue, the multi-purpose glue, you can use that as well. I'm actually going to use all 3 of these. All righty. First thing we're going to do is move my stuff out of the way so that you don't see the little sneak peek there. Oh, well, hello, Miss Jody. Hello, Miss Carol K. Hello, Miss Carolyn. Hey, Carolyn, that shot, it popped up in my memories the other day. You and I were at Lily's. Oh, gosh, has it been like 4 years ago? Oh, my gosh, can you believe that? I know. All right, so the first thing you want to do is not this piece. Let me grab the right piece of paper. See, I have extras in here just in case I boo-boo it. Not that that would ever happen. And guys, I'm making 2 because it's just easier when you're making cards. Now these are 4 1/4 by 11. So when you hold them together like, whoops, like this, it's your regular 8 1/2 by 11. What you do is you score across here at 5 1/2, and then you cut it on the long piece at 4 1/4. So that way then each card base is 4 1/4 by 11, and it opens like this. It's like a tent. And again, I'm going to use 2 of them, and I am using Sahara Sand is the cardstock for this. All right, so that's the first thing you want to do. Then the next piece, I'm like, wait a minute, my stuff is here. If you're going to decorate the front, you would decorate the front at this time because I'm showing you how to do this. I'm not decorating on here. I'm going to show you how to put it all together. Alrighty, then this next piece, you're going to grab a piece, and this one is 3 inches by, a little bit too short. Let's go with the old ruler here. 3 inches by 8 inches. 3 inches by 8 inches. Now guys, I chose to use the exact same color because I wanted it to blend with the inside. This is your twist and pop piece. All right, so now that we've got that, I'm going to set this one aside, and I'm going to pull up my Simply Scored. You do want some kind of a scoring tool. Now, if you notice here, and it had been very faded, I mark it at 4 1/4 because that's where I usually score things at. Sometimes I do score them at the 5 1/2, and I know you can't probably see, but down here on the bottom, that's at the 5 1/2, so I know where that is to line it up too. But I just take my Sharpie marker and I just went whoosh right down there at 4 1/4, and it goes all the way down there to the bottom. See how that goes? All right, trust me, that's going to become very, very important. So first you're going to take this 3 inch by 8 inch piece, and you're going to put it so that the 3 inches is up here on the top. You're going to use, I prefer to use the big nub piece. There's a smaller one, but the bigger piece, because sometimes I'm a little heavy-handed and I don't want it to push through. So I'm going to take the bigger piece and I'm going to mark it right here at 1 1/2, and you just score straight down. That's it on that one. Then what you're going to, can you guys see that on there? Yeah, you can see that 1 1/2, right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to flip it long ways. So now the 8 inch piece is up here, and you're going to mark it at 2 1/2, and I'm just putting a little teeny tiny nub. That's all the more I'm doing is just putting that little tiny divot right there. And I'm going to count in it's 2 1/2 over on this side. So 1, 2 1/2 is at 5 1/2. So you're just putting a little mark at 2 1/2 and 5 1/2. Then I'm going to take it, flip it upside down, and do the same thing. So I went 2 1/2 here, and I went 5 1/2 there. So now I have 2 1/2 marked at the top and 2 1/2 marked at the bottom from each end, right? Now, this is where it's really important to have that line, because you're going to make a big, huge X. Now, you could sit here and try to fiddle with it. I'm going to show you the cheater and much easier way to do this. That little nib piece right there, I'm going to line that up here with the black, and then this piece down here, I'm going to move that over. And that way then I'm sure I've got the right line, and I just take this and I go straight down. So you guys, I don't know, can you see that? There's a line that's going right across that like there. And I'm going to take it this way and do the exact same thing. So I've got my little marks. There's my 2 1/2 up here on this side, and I'm going to mark it straight down. Can you guys see that now, how it's got the X in the center, and the center goes right on that line? I know, right? Okay, so for right now, we're done with the Simply Scored. I'm going to put that out of the way, just so that way then you can see it. All right, so now what you're going to do, and you do want your bone folder for this. Anytime you're making a box or a movable card, you want to have your bone folder. So first thing I'm going to do is, actually I'm going to do the side. So I'm going to make my X first. So see how it folds like that? I'm just going to take my bone folder. I'm going this way, and then I'm taking the paper and flipping it upside down, and I'm doing the same thing. You do want to burnish both sides. Then I'm opening it up. You can see where that mark is. And now I'm going to do the other part to make the X. So I'm going to just score right there and flip that and do the exact same thing. And then I'm going to, you can see the X's in there, right? Now I'm going to take this and fold it in half where that score line was for the 1 1/2. And again, same thing. There. Okay, so you see how that goes? Now, this is where the magic happens. And let me find my sample so I can make sure I'm doing this the right way. Yeah, there we go. Okay, you want it to go. All right, let's see. See, I always have to sit here and fiddle with this. All right, there we go. All right, there we go. So you fold in the two sides. You're going to tuck those in, and it's going to make a little house. Do you see how that made it like that? So now once it's together, I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm going to do the exact same thing again. Okay, so it kind of looks like a house. So real quick, let me do the other one just to make sure. Now again, this video should only be like 15 to 20 minutes, but I did chat with you for a minute. So I wanted to make sure all is well. And just remember, mark your calendar for next week on the 13th. We'll be meeting at 7 a.m. here on my page. Okay, so then once it's ready, see if I can do this right this time. I'm going to make the little house. Yep, and then see, then it folds in. And again, makes the little house, see? Much easier when you do multiples. So guys, if you're going to do this, practice on one and then cut everything and do assembly line. Trust me on this, way easier. Now, here's where you have your choices of tapes or adhesives. If you want, you could put this on here. I don't like using the green glue on that. I like using tear and tape. The Seal Plus would work. I just prefer tear and tape. I'm old school. That's what I practiced with. That's what I learned on. That's what I do. So now we're going to put some tear and tape up here on the roof. Is the easiest way to put it. You're putting it up here on the roof. So you want to go all the way up. So it's like you're laying your shingles, right? So how many of you guys have made these twist and pop cards before? They've been around forever. Like I said, the one I did for that class, the Buckeye class, was in 2016. Can't believe that, right? So again, grab hold of your house and you're laying your shingles. Okay, and we're just going to put that right there on the roof. I know that's a silly way to put it, but guys, you'll remember it, won't you? I know. And if you have never played with our tear and tape, the easiest way to do it, because it tears, that's hence the name tear and tape, is you start it, press down, and go across, and then when you get to wherever you want it to be, put your finger or your fingernail there. I happen to not have fingernails, so I hold my finger there, and holding this piece here, and I just pull it towards me, and then it tears it. See, did you guys know that? I know, so much nicer, huh? Okay, so there's that one, and then we go along on here, and there, and there. Okay, so we've got this right here, and it's on both sides on both of them. And then now we're going to bring back in our card bases. And just to make it easy, I'm going to grab a pencil and my ruler, because you do want this to be in here the right way. Now, technically, you would normally have your front already designed, already got your paper on it, so you'd know which was the front or the top or the bottom. I'm going to take my ruler, and we know this is 4 1/4, so I'm just going to bring this down, and I'm going to mark it at 2 1/8. That just lets me know where the centerpiece is, right there. It's going to get covered up, so it's okay. But I just still put a little tiny, teeny, tiny tick mark on that. So 2 1/8. So we're just marking that right. Whoops, there we go. 2 1/8. Okay, so now that we've got that, if you need to, and I probably should have, take your pick tool, because it would be so much easier to peel this off with your take your pick tool. And you're only going to do one side at a time. There we go. And you want to make sure none of the adhesive is hanging over, because you all want it on the house. So can you guys see the reflection there? All of those are there. So I'm going to take this over. I'm going to flip it down, because I'm going to press it down. And I'm going to put the point where that mark is up to the fold, but not over the fold, because if I put it over the fold, it wouldn't close correctly. So I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to put my point right about there in the center. And then what I'm going to do is just kind of eyeball it to make sure this looks kind of straight, which it does. press down. Make sure you can close this down. So now I'm sitting here, I'm just gonna push it down to get the adhesive into the nooks and crannies. See? So now that's attached down there on the bottom. So guess what we're gonna do here? That's right, we're gonna do the exact same thing. And definitely take your pick tool to pull up the adhesive. It's just so much easier. Ugh. And don't forget, Thursday will be a new weekly deal, and I will be live at 7 a.m. for you. All right, so now we've got this. I'm going to hold this piece down close. I'm holding down the, I don't know, would you call that the sides or the shutters? I would hold that down so it lays flat. And then I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to press it down. Again, smoosh. Makes you feel better. Flip it upside down. It's kind of like the hokey pokey, right? Shake it, move it all about. All right, so see how that goes like that? So we went from this to here. Okay, this went inside of here, and now it looks like this. See how that works? And just on the off chance I make a boo-boo, I'm going to do this second one so that I don't lose that step. So let me do this real quick, because guys, this is not very forgiving. You do want to watch where you put things at and how you lay it down. And again, once you start doing them, so much easier to just do assembly line. And guys, don't forget, remember with my Norway special, when you place a $100 order before shipping and taxes, you also receive a $20 product bonus. So this would be the perfect time to get you your tear and tape, your Seal Plus, glue dots, green glue. I mean, let's face it, if you're getting 20 bucks free, get it free, right? Okay, so we're in here like this. They both pop open like that. Then you're gonna grab your tear and tape again. And again, hopefully your front would already be designed. We're gonna open this up, and we're going to put 3 pieces here. 1, 2, and 3. So as you're looking at your card, it's on the top right wing. And then over here, you're going to do this here on the bottom left wing, or bottom left arm, or however you want to do that. Okay? Top right, bottom left. And here's the thought, if you flip it over, it's still the top right, bottom left. So as long as you haven't decorated the front, you're still okay either way. So I'm going to set that one aside and do the same thing here. So again, 3 strips. And you notice I do have it a little teeny tiny bit of room between the 3 strips, not a whole lot, but it just makes it easier. And again, you can use the green glue, you could use your Seal Plus. I really prefer tear and tape because it's got the covering over top of it. So I only have to do one arm at a time type of thing. All right, so now that those are ready, I'm going to set those aside because now we need to do the next piece. Alrighty, so the next piece is, and this one is not centimeters, 3 3/4 by 11. 3 3/4 by 11 inches, and you're wanting to grab back your Simply Scored. So now I'm going to move my bone folder out. You're going to put this up here, and again, using the big nib on this because it just makes it easier. You're going to mark it 2 3/4 straight down like that, and then take it and flip it like that, and you're going to do 2 3/4 again. Again, if it's easier, it's 2 3/4 and 8 1/4. So you've done 2 3/4 and 8 1/4. Then you're going to take this and you're literally going to flip this upside down. So now your score marks are mountains, not valleys, and you're going to do right at 5 1/2. So you've got mountain, valley, mountain. Or if you flip it back over, you've got valley, mountain, valley. Does that make sense on that? If it does not, please leave a comment on here so I can explain that, because that one's kind of important. I'm trying to pull this up to see. Oh, good. Carol K says, yes, she has done these. These are fun. Okay, so for those of you who know, if you have the valley, which is the push down, the indented part here, that's, and I know it seems counterproductive, but it really will make sense, I promise. That's the one you push up. So both ends get pushed up on this one, and then where the mountain is, that becomes the, so see, it kind of looks like it's a bird. Woo! Anybody seen airplane? Oh, I can make it a bird. All right, so now that you've got that, I find it's easier just to fold it all in together like that, so it's all like the accordion. And then I take my bone folder and I go along on this side, and then I go along on that side, and then I flip it upside down and do that again. So, ready? Through the magic of TV, we have 2 of them here. But, ready? Ta-da! This has already got stuff on the inside. So, you want it so that the peak is in the center. You want it to look like a W. That's the easiest way to do it. No M or a bird. You want it to look like the W. Okay, so my W is like this. And then I'm going to grab, and again, guys, this is all Sahara sand. So I went ahead and I pre-cut 4 of the soft suede, and these are each 2.5 by 3.5 inches. 2.5 by 3.5. So all 4 of them are exactly the same size. Now I'm going to grab my Seal adhesive or your Seal Plus, whichever you prefer. And I'm just doing 3 strips right down the center of that. You could also do on each side, however you want to do. And guys, you do want to do it this way because, well, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to have to show you this way. Because if you don't, once it's inside of the card, it's going to be like this, and it's harder to lay it onto it. So it's always easier to put things together when they're flat. Always easier. Kind of like when you assemble a box, right? Okay, so there's that one. Press that one down. If you want, you could change colors and all of that. When I did that Buckeye one, if you go back and watch the video, and I did share it on Saturday, you can see I used different pattern papers and I put letters on it because we spelled out Ohio. You know, it was a Buckeye class, right? All right, so there's this. Okay, so we've got it going this way. All right, so now everything all looks the same. Move that out and move this out. So now I've got this right here, and I thought I marked one of them. Nope, did not. Of course not. All right. So how you want this to do, again, depends on however you have it. So you want it to open. So again, when this opens up, the point will be like this here in the center. So when you close it, you want the openings up here on the top. So you guys can see it makes the W going this way. Doing that way, it's the W, okay? The opening is up here on the top with the soft suede. Does that make sense? All right, so now I'm only going to do, this again is why I prefer the tear and tape over the Seal Plus, because I can just do one arm at a time. And see how this isn't laying flat? Once you've got it all in there, it doesn't lay flat. Okay, so I've got this here. I'm going to reach up to here, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball to make the borders about even. If it was like this, you can see the borders are not even. So I'm just going to kind of go, okay, right about there looks good. I've got it there. I'm holding that. I'm going to close this up and press down. And see there, it's already adhered to this right side. So now I'm going to take this. Well, easier said than done. Flip it upside down. Well, let's just do it this way. Take those pieces off. Well, there we go. See, again, much easier if you have your if you have your pickup tool. All right, so now this one, because the sticky is right here on my right index finger, I'm going to press the unadhered piece up against the W, up against the top, which had been the bottom previous, and press down so that now, ta-da, see how it twists and pops? Okay, so is that making sense to everybody on that one? Give me a thumbs up if it's making sense to everybody. Now I'm going to show you it on the front decorated so that you know how you'll want to pay attention if it's front, back, however you want to do it. All right, so here is my card that I have already And on this one, guys, all I did was put 2 pieces. I put the pretty Splendid Day paper on this, and I put a piece of soft suede underneath that. You can do however you want. The soft suede on this one is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then the Splendid Day Designer Series paper piece here is 5 1/4 inches in height and 4 inches across. Okay. All right. So that one out. I just did not want, I had to have that extra one just on the off chance it boo-booed, right? Okay, so in here, I've got, this is my front. We can tell very clearly that is my front. And see, I didn't want to make any boo-boos, so I wanted to make sure this was open. So you guys enjoying this? Is this making it nice and easy for everybody? You guys can see how these really aren't hard, but they have such a wow factor. They do require a lot of supplies. So this would be like a $5 card. If I sell this one at a craft show, it would be a $5 card. And at the end, guys, I'm actually going to show you an alternate design. There we go. An alternate design that I made for some friends of mine. So there again, fold that in, press down. So now again, I can see where the top is. So here's the top, flipping that upside down. And I know you guys are getting to see this a couple times. I found that that's easier than rewinding and trying to get to the right spot. Okay, so here's this. So I'm putting it on the bottom of the card. See, there's the top, so it's on the bottom. And I've got this wing, this arm here that has the sticky on it on top of. So pressing down. Ready? Ta-da! See how pretty that is? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 4 pieces of that beautiful Splendid Day paper. Let me make sure I've got it going the right way. And I happen to know how I want it to be, but for the purposes of this video, we're going to make sure we're doing it exactly the same. So let me make sure I've got it going the same way. I want to grab my fresh freesia first. And remember how easy that was to put those on? This is why. You're going to see how much harder this is. So I'm going to take my fresh freesia, and I like the metallic side out on each one of them. And we're going to decorate them all. But this one's going to go here on the left. And this one will still kind of go, it will kind of lay flat. So there's that one. And then I'm going to take the soft seafoam one and put that one there on the far right. So that one's going to go there. And then these 2 pieces, and again, you would choose up your patterns, whichever one you want. I'm going to take the Sahara Sand one first and put that one on the second panel. Making sure I'm going, and now see this one I can't press down because it won't lay flat. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it and gently play with making sure it's kind of lined up in the right spot, tacking it down, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the brassy colored one. So I've got those 3 strips. Again, same thing. Yeah, I think I like that way better. So I'm going to take this one and again just gently tack it onto there so that it's about in the right spot. And then I'm going to fold those up and then press down so it helps adhere those. I know, but it makes it so much easier. Okay, ready? So now they've all been adhered. Now what I'm going to do, using those beautiful dies, you are going to want your silicone mat for this. So again, guys, like I said, place a $100 online order using the host code right here. You get a $20 product bonus. So I'm telling you all kinds of great things you guys can get for free with this. So I did one of the full flowers in soft seafoam. I did one in the soft seafoam of the detailed, and then using the shimmery white, I did the detail in the white. Now on this one, you are going to want your green glue. Some people prefer to put it here and then use a sponge dauber and daub it. I can't. I've done that, and it's, if you're doing a bunch, it's a little easier. That's fine. But instead, I'm just going to dab it on here because there are some bigger spots in here. So I'm just going to put it on there, and you want to be very light-handed on it because if you're not, it's going to ooze out everywhere. So I've got that on here. I'm going to take this piece and just kind of go little cattywampus on that. Just move it a little off center so that it looks a little funny that way. And I'm going to take the white one, gluing about the same spots. Now guys, usually on the Tuesday, Thursday, it's not going to be this wow or intricate of a card because these, you can see we're requiring more than a half hour, okay? So, but I wanted to show this because I showed it over the weekend and everybody really liked it. So again, pressing down, and see how it's got glue on here like that? That's okay because all you have to do with your silicone mat is you can take that right on out to the kitchen or your sink or your bathroom or wherever and just run hot water on it, and the glue just like whoosh, goes away. That's all I ever do with that. Let it air dry, and then I roll it back up and put a little clip on it, and it just sticks in with my crafting stuff. So for right now, I'm going to leave that here. So you can see this is right here. I'm actually going to flip that over, and I'm going to go back to my seal now. I'm just going to put some seal adhesive on that one and move that out the way. So again, making sure that I have this going the right way. I'm just going to take this and put that one down in here. And because I am making 2 cards, I'm going to do the same thing over here. Oops, should have put that on my silicone mat. These silicone mat just makes your life so much easier. So much easier. So again, same thing right down here. There's that one. But I've got glue all over it, and I don't want to get glue all over it again. And you know what? Let's do, yeah, let's do, now this is the Sahara Sand, and again, the basic, or the shimmery white, using those beautiful dyes that are on sale. And we're just going to put that one down here. I tried to stick with, like, this is Sahara Sand paper to the Sahara Sand foil, the soft sea foam with the soft sea foam foil in that Splendid Day paper. So again, over to here, press it down, just tacking it down. And then I did the larger flower with the fresh freesia. And again, I did the same thing. It's the full and then the detailed one. Both are in fresh freesia. And then I did a white one on the fresh freesia. Now guys, because this is a pop-up, you do not want to use dimensionals here on the inside because then it's not really going to lay very flat for you. Just won't do it. So are you guys liking this? I'm not seeing any comments on here. Oh, please let this be working. Just give me a thumbs up or say hi, Dawn, or yes, I love this, or something. Please let me know that it's working. So there's that one. Okay, so when it closes, there's that one. And see, all I did was put the, I know you're getting some glare on that. Now, oh, thank you. Okay, now I see. Okay, good, good, good. Okay. So then what I did, because on that stamp set, there's 2 floral images plus the little spray, and then you have a bunch of different sentiments. Well, I wanted this smaller one, and then I also wanted to do this larger one. So the smaller one, I have already used my markers and already used my die cut to go with it, and I went ahead and I colored that directly. So guess where that's going to go? Hello, right here. I know. Now, if you wanted, I would probably put a piece of vellum underneath that, and I'm going to put that actually going up this way. And again, no dimensionals on this because it won't lay flat. You could put them in, but just be aware it's going to be really thick. It's kind of like your Bible when you start putting notes and all different kinds of things into it. And you don't want it to go over any of the folds. So I'm just going to kind of peek that into there. No, I don't like that. All right, we'll put that one down here going this way. So now that everything's all in there, I'm taking that You don't want to get fingerprints all over the top foil, so that's why I'm flipping this upside down. So have you guys made it this way before? Doesn't that just make that so much easier? How I've been showing you how to do those step by step by step onto that. And then this one here, I'm going to take, again, the same one. And my markers apparently need re-inked quite badly. I have found that the subtle ones always need re-inked quite badly. How about you guys? Is that the ones? Oh, thank you. I love those little hearts. Oh, good. Okay, so again, holding it here so I'm sure that it doesn't go over the fold. Yep, if I can get hold of it there. Doesn't go over the fold. Pressing down, closing that up again. Now, I did the larger flower that's also on here, and I changed up the colors a little bit. I know, right? So I'm going to flip those over. You can see I boo-booed onto those. And I'm going to grab my dimensionals because these are going to go onto the front. And you guys, if you followed me for any period of time, you know I use my dimensionals because I don't want anything to fall off, fall apart, go flat, look cattywampus, anything like that. So guys, they're not that expensive. Please use your dimensionals on these. Okay, so the same thing. I'm going to come over here and do this. Now, if my friend Charlie was still alive, I would not be able to send this to Charlie. Charlie did this to my friend Faye. She sent him a card and she'd made a boo-boo. So she flipped it over just like you see I did on these as well. That son of a gun, Charlie, he took that card apart and then told her at church that he knew that she made a boo-boo on it. I told her, I tell everybody, had Charlie done that to me, I'd have ripped that card up right in front of him. There you go, Charlie, that's your card. He was such an ornery son of a gun. Do miss him, though. He's one of the nicest, sweetest guys. He's one of the first ones that ever held Joshua, too. We were taking a disciple class, Paul and I, and we weren't going to take the disciple class because we did it together. After we had Joshua, we weren't going to take it together because, you know, we didn't have childcare. We didn't have family nearby, and we would have had to pay a babysitter. And we thought, well, you know, you do it this year, I'll do it next year type of thing. Charlie, his name is Charlie Bessie. Charlie and Dave Herman, the two of them, both of them told us, no, 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 you come to the class. Both of you come to the class. We'll bring the baby with you. And we did. And Charlie and Dave would hold the baby during the lesson. The baby slept, you know, Joshua was a good baby. He did sleep well, but they would hold him. So every time I think of Charlie, I always think of that, him holding Joshua, and I think of him ripping up that card for Faye. What a goofball. Okay, so on this one, see how it's got all the pretty flowers? Oops. See how it's got all those pretty flowers? I'm just going to take this one and kind of transplant that right there in the middle. Do the same thing. Now on this one over here, it's going to be slightly different because there's an empty space there. So I'm going to take this one and put that to go right along. Whoops, let me move that a little bit further over. There we go. And then I'm going to take, there we go. Now on this one, you could do anything, okay? I'm going to take the brushed metallic adhesive backed dots, and those I'm going to put on the center of the flowers because, you know, don't those look like flower centers? And my take your pick tool really is somewhere else. So let's take, you know what, let's do the bigger ones. Let's do a big one of the copper one. Let's put that one right there in the center of the bigger flower that's here in the center. And then let's take the bigger of the gold, and we cannot put gold with blue because yellow and blue just simply don't go together. So we'll put the gold one up there on the top one with your pink. And then we're going to take that pewter kind of one and put that here with the blue, which is the pool party for the marker. Ah, somebody's laughing at me. I don't know who on earth that would be. So there's, so there are your brushed metallic dots, which again, guys, this is one of the weekly deals that ends tomorrow. And then I'm going to grab my brushed brass butterflies. Say that 3 times fast. Now you see on this paper here, it's got the bumblebee on it, but this one didn't have a bumblebee. So I'm going to take a large of the butterflies, and I'm just going to put one right now. I'm going to move him there. And then I'm going to take some of the smaller ones and just start sprinkling those, because it looks like there's some adhesive or fingerprints on here. I have no idea how that happened. Anybody else know how that happened? So there's one, and we'll just put the other one up there, and we'll take another one and bring that one over to here. There's that. Now, like I said, guys, I tried to use some of the items so you can see how to use them for the weekly deals, because, guys, really, these are such great deals, okay? And I was planning on using the pale papaya ribbon. I just did not think that this pale papaya orange looked as nice there. So I'm going to use something different, and I'm going to tie a little bow, and I'm going to tack that down there, because you know I did not put any dimensionals on the stems. So, all right, so you guys ready? Oh, let me move that pin, because I know if I don't put it back in the ribbon, I'll end up stepping on it. So you're ready for the wow factor on this one? Okay, so ready? So this goes in, whoops, I hit something. Hope you're still there. Yeah. Okay. So when you open this, this comes in your envelope, and you can see how thick this is already. You may want to tie it shut with a ribbon. That's fine. You don't have to, but the person can still set it up on their desk just like normal, or on the mantle. But you ready? When they open this up, it goes like this. And then this one here, again, same exact thing. It goes like that. You've got the little decorations there on the inside. So now you can put, if you want to put like scripture, hi, I miss you. Let's do coffee. Love, Sally Ann. Miss you. Hope you're doing okay. Love you. Let's do coffee. You could write little notes on each of them. Plus, do you see all this extra room you have here on your card base? Yeah, you can do this. Now, to fold it back up, you will fold it together like you're putting your playing cards together. You can see it's already starting to twist there. So you twist it. I choose to hold it together, and then it just kind of automatically goes to lay flat. So again, hold it together, squeeze both tops, and then it goes together. So what do you guys think, huh? Was that fun? I know it took a little bit longer. Like I said, I had not planned. This is the Tuesday, Thursday is going to be an easy class from now on. That's just a quick 5-minute thingy. Not 5 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, no more than a half hour. But this is new, so I wanted to make sure I did a wow thing to begin with. Oh, thank you. I love those little hearts. And who gave me this, the happy face, the joking face? That was probably Carol K, wasn't it? Because I wouldn't put the yellow and blue together. Sorry. You knew I had to do that. But guys, I love these cards, and you saw they're not hard to make at all. They're not hard, but don't those look so pretty with that Splendid Day paper? And guys, right now you can get it 20% off. If you are already a demonstrator, you know most of you guys save 20%. After you reach a certain level, you start to save 25%. Did you know that's one of our superpowers as Stampin' Up! Demonstrators? So if it's marked down 20% through tomorrow night, down to $12, I also still save an additional 20 or 25%. That's one of the great things about being a demonstrator. I know, right? I know. So, and that's the same with the brushed brass butterflies. That's the same with the, oh, those dies, because that's even bigger. That's normally $34. It's marked down to $27.20, and then from there I'll save another 20 or 25%. Now, not me, because I already have them. But if you don't, you saw how nice that was, and you saw I used so many of those dies. That just remember, the host code is on there, okay? And those, oops, sorry. Those weekly deals, those end on the 7th at midnight. It's 11:50 p.m. Mountain Time. Okay, sorry, I always get that confused. But just make sure you place your order, because once the stuff sells out that they already have marked for the reduced rate, it's gone. So you do want to get that. Okay, so you want to see the alternate card that I did? Okay, now, let me see. Let me get this. Oops. All right. Let me get this. Oops. All right. And I have my sample over here because you guys know anytime you do stuff, practice on your ick stuff, okay? Who knows what color this is? And you know I think this is an ick color. It just is, okay? So since you've held on this long, I'm just going to show you the front on this one because this one's still not assembled because I practice before I do these, right? So I used that beautiful Enjoy This, I think it's called Enjoy This Moment stamp set. And I used the Rings of Love Designer Series paper, and I wanted to make a fall card. But I used that beautiful layering vellum. This is the one that has the polka dots onto it. So that's just on top of it. Again, soft suede. This soft suede square is the same size as the soft suede squares on the inside. And then this paper with the multicolored leaves, this is the reverse of it. So I did the girl sitting there drinking her cup of coffee, looking out her window with the You're in My Thoughts. And then, see, here's my panel all ready to go in. All I got to do is put it in. But this one's ready. So ready, set. And I put all 4 of them in there. And how this goes is you wake up and you're reading a book, like your Bible or whatever inspirational book you have in the morning. You've got your cup of coffee and the puppy dog right there. You're always so good to others. Be good to yourself too. And then here she is looking outside with her cup of coffee. And then there she is in the evening with her glass of beverage in the wine glass. So again, I'm making this. I made this for a friend of mine. So she'll be receiving that, but not until October. She's not getting this till October. So again, guys, you can change these up any way you want. It's the exact same design, but see, look at how different these look. This one looks so elegant with that beautiful paper. And I know it's just not simply showing with the reflection. Hopefully the photo will come out better. But on the inside, this one's got stamped images on the Designer Series paper, whereas this one has Designer Series paper and die cuts. So again, guys, you can make it anything you want. So with that, let me know if you're thinking about becoming a demonstrator if you're not already. I would love to have you join my team. Or reach out to your demonstrator so that you can join with them. And guys, just so that you do know, you get 120, oh, sorry, my nose started to run. You get $125 worth of merchandise for $99 with free shipping. All you gotta do is pay tax to join, to buy the starter kit. Yeah, did you know that reduced rate, so the Splendid Day paper is only $12? Yeah, that's all they're charging you for your starter kit is the $12 for that paper. So guys, it gives you an extra $3. So it gives, if you buy the weekly deals, you get it at the reduced rate, which means you can get more free stuff. I know, it just really works out. And again, if you'd like to help and support me for the Norway special, $100 order, right there's the host code, and you get a $20 product bonus. It does have to be used and done up by September 29th because Stampin' Up! Year ends on September 30th. And guys, the last time I did this was for the Greek Isles when I did the Greek cruise, which was pre-COVID. So yeah, it's been several years ago. So let me know if you have any questions. For those of you that did place orders last night, thank you so much. I really did appreciate that. Thank you for watching the Facebook Live yesterday. And I love the items that you guys chose. That was really smart. So that was also kind of why I mentioned some of the staples that you can get for free because you'll use them all the time. All right, guys, have a great night. I will see you on Thursday morning, the 8th. At 7 a.m. Eastern. It will be a much simpler, faster card, and we'll also go over what the new weekly deals will be. Just remember, these weekly deals do end on the 7th. Okay, let me see. It looks like some comments popped up here on this. Okay, let's see. Joyce says she has to watch the replay for sure. Oh yes, the twist and pop. I always think, that Chubby Checker song. So everybody do the twist and pop. There you go. Alrighty, so have a great day. Miss Carol K, you also. Love the yellow hearts on there. You're so cute. Beautiful, great card. Carol K says, love it. They are fun. Yes, they really are. And they really are a wow factor. When you give this to somebody, they're going to be like, wow. And you notice on this, I left nothing on it. So I can make this into a birthday card. I can make it into a wish you feel better. You can do whatever you want, but the card's ready to go. So guys, I hope you enjoy it. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye now.